Okay, here we go.
And anyone that didn't get to sign Judy's registration book for Bernie's memorial, she would like you to do that, and it's in the other room.
Yeah, if you were here for Bernie's memorial and you didn't get to sign the guest registry, it's on the table in there. Sign that for Judy. All right. Last night, as I talked about, we was over at Freedom. We had New Legacy Project there. Those guys, Rick Price has been doing it for 42 years. He's been traveling. They do 200 to 300 shows a year for 42 years. I can't imagine. My mind doesn't go that far of how many shows that is. And to continue to do it and continue to do it. Last year when he was here, he was just recovering from a heart surgery. He's had 9 heart surgeries altogether. And he said, as long as the Lord keeps it working, I'm going to keep on going. And so we've always partnered up with local missions. And you know, this more, yesterday, as a matter of fact, and last night, as a church, we're very mission-minded about supporting people that go out and spread the gospel. And I was thinking about the missions that we support through this church, and these guys are one of them. But there's if you look up on the computer, it would tell you that 75% of the people in America claim to be Christian. Well, that means 25% of them need to hear about Jesus. And so there's a mission field right here at home, in our homeland, on our home ground. There's plenty of people out there that need the message of Jesus Christ, that need to hear the good news of what happened so many years ago and what is still happening today. The event that Jesus Christ started by coming to this earth is still working today. His church is still growing, and it's still reaching out. And it's still, these lives are still being saved through what Jesus did on that day. And so these are the missions, these are the things that happen. And this next song is just about that. It's about go tell it on the mountain. As a Christian, it's supposed to be a Christmas song. It's another one of those as I was going through. The Lord said, see, that's not really a Christmas song. It's just a song, but we've always related it to Christmas. But it's just another song. He says, go tell somebody about Jesus. Go tell it. That's what love is. That's who He is. That's what He came for. That's what He does. So we're going to do this one, and then we're going to do This last week made me kind of just open up my memory banks and begin to think about things and remember things that maybe I'd forgotten about from times past. And I was thinking back, and I was thinking about Christmases and birthdays and anniversaries and Valentine's days and times in school and times with family and times throughout all my memory of the different things that have happened in my life and different gifts that maybe I've received. And we've all got special gifts that we received that we treasure and that we hang on to. You know, things that maybe somebody gave us is very special to us, and we try to keep it, and we keep them for as long as we can, and sometimes we still have them. Some things that I was given a long, long time ago, I still have. And some things that I was given a long, long time ago that I can remember, I don't have anymore. I'm not sure where they went. They kind of disappeared. But you know, we all have special memories of things, whether it be of a material gift or a gift of somebody's love or a gift that we received at one time that when we really needed it the most, something that somebody might have done for us, a unique gift, something that really rocks our memory. You know, and it doesn't have to be something that's big. It just has to be something that's meaningful. Something that, you know, they say a diamond, just a gift that keeps on giving. Well, I got a little story about a guy that I knew in Texas. His name was Deward Otherword. I used to go to church with him down in Texas in Jacksboro. And Deward was a farmer all of his life. He was a dairy farmer. And he was a very simple guy. And he thought things out, and he made decisions the best way that he felt like the Lord led him. And it didn't matter where you find Darrell or Deward. If you found Deward on a tractor baling hay or in his pickup chasing cows or wherever you found Deward, his Bible was never more than an arm's reach away. No matter what he was doing, he had his Bible. Well, one year, Deward bought his wife a Bremer calf for her anniversary. And a lot of the people in the church, a lot of the ladies in the church thought, well, that's a crazy gift. You don't buy your wife a cow. for our anniversary. But see, again, Durham was a simple man, and he thought things out, and he thought them out very thoroughly. Because for the next 12 years, that cow produced a calf. And every year, that cow would produce another, all of a sudden I can't think of his wife's name. But anyway, she would be able to go and put carpet in her house or do whatever she wanted to do. Every year, once a year, that cow would produce a calf. And that calf was hers to do with as she pleased. So see, it was something that as time went on, you would say, yeah, a lot of people thought I was crazy when I did that, but as the years went on, and she was always able every year to do something special for herself out of what that cow produced, he said, see, that was a gift that was, for him, was very smart, because it continued to produce a gift, and it was always a reminder every year. You know, maybe the first couple of years, well, I got a cow, but as the years went on, it's like, well, look at that, what I've been able to do because of that gift. And see, a gift, when we get a gift, sometimes it may not look like much, or it may not seem like a lot in the beginning, but as time goes on, sometimes that gift becomes a little more, has a different meaning. Shelby, I was explaining to Shelby about when I was young, when I was a kid, we didn't have a whole lot, so Christmas time, pretty much you could count on getting socks and underwear. One of your gifts was going to be socks, and the other was going to be underwear. Almost bank on it. And so I was joking about it one time and talking to Shelby about, you know, when I was young, how we always got socks and underwear for Christmas. And so now Shelby makes sure that every Christmas I get a pair of socks and a pair of underwear. The same gift, but an entirely different meaning because of the sincerity and the emotion and the thought put into the gift. And it shows us that every gift is a very unique gift. Everything that we receive is from God. For all things are created by Him, and for Him was not anything created that wasn't created by Him. So every gift that we receive, regardless of how big or how little, has a lot of meaning depending on how we look at it and how we receive it. See, it's how we receive the gift. How much it means to us is by how much we receive it. And so the gift, the sharing of gifts is something that we're in the season of. And I was explaining that to the guys last night after the service was over. I said, I'm so glad that God has worked this out, that their tour through Arizona is always in December. Because it's always in the time of giving. Now, if you were there last night, you heard them talking about they do it at every show. They reach out and they try to acquire, what their goal is to distribute 120 gift packages to veterans. Now every Christmas season since we've been here, we've prayed that God would give us a family or two to buy Christmas for, to be able to provide Christmas for a family that's in need. And God has done that so graciously over the years. And this year we've been waiting and nothing has really come across. Nothing has really happened. Now there's been a couple of things that have happened that reminded us of our veterans. It reminded us of what they've contributed for us to be able to be here and to worship our Lord the way we do. The freedom that we have because of what they do. And it occurred to Des and I that that's our family for this year, is our veterans. And so last night, we partnered with the guys, with New Legacy Project. And through your contributions and the church matching what you guys contributed, they're going to distribute 120 packages to veterans. Now, not only did we support that, they would have given us the whole 120. He said, you guys can distribute them if you want to. You have a community. And what an outreach that is for a local church to go and to these veterans that have a need and give them they get a Bible, and they get a DVD, and they get a CD of New Legacy Project. So I said, well, I don't know that we would be able to do all 120, but you know what? Let us have 60. So we have 60 get-ups, 60 setups, 60 Bibles, 60 DVDs, and 60 CDs that we're going to distribute to the veterans in our community from now to Christmas. We felt so blessed by being able to, and it all started back, it goes back where Gary goes. Gary sent me an email this last week, and again, we're waiting for God to answer our prayer for a family to be able to share the love of Christ in this season with. And last week, again, not knowing, Gary sent me an email with a poem which will be part of our Christmas program. on December the 24th at 11 o'clock. And we invite you to come. It's amazing how when we allow God to work, He reveals how He works and reveals Himself to us. We've shared the story before about a guy, very wealthy man, and he invited a couple of his neighbors that lived close to him to come to the country club for dinner. Come on to the country club, I want to buy you dinner. So they agreed to go to the country club with him, and they're going into the country club, and the very wealthy man walking them into the country club where he belongs, and there's a penny on the ground, and the man picks up the penny and he puts it in his pocket. Well, this intrigues the young lady. She's like, well, now why would a man that has as much money as he has reach down and pick a penny up off the ground? And so they're sitting there and they're eating dinner in this real nice country club, and they're being waited on hand and foot, and this just continues to run through this woman's mind. And finally she asked him, she said, sir, I just had to ask you, someone of your wealth, why would you stop and pick up a penny? And he said, well, on every coin it says, in God we trust. So when I see a coin, I can pick it up and I know I can trust God. Last night, as the concert was going on and the guys had made their plea to try to get support for those 120 packages, the Lord laid it on my heart. The church needs to match every contribution so that we can do that. And they were fixing to start a song, and I went running down the middle aisle and jumped up on the stage, stopped the show, because that's what the Lord had told me to do. Now, after the show was over, and they tallied the contributions and the church matched it, I turned around, there's a quarter laying on the floor. And I picked up the quarter, and I remember, you know what? I know I can trust God. God is still working. He's working through everything that He does. He never stops. He brings things to our mind to remind us and to show us every day that He's working. That story about the coin is a gift that I have received. And I didn't know that there was going to be a blessing behind it someday. Through my obedience and through seeing that coin, I knew God was there. God called me to do that. And God said, I'm going to bless your work because you're obedient. I can trust God. Amen?
Amen.
The gift, the things that God gives us, all these things, they don't seem important until they come into play. But God is blessing your life every single day. It's not just on Christmas time that He sends a gift. He sends a gift to you every single day. Every day there's something else that He's putting in your path and in your life that will become a blessing sometime if you remember that it's there and remember to use it when it comes time to use it. Let's go to the book of Leviticus chapter 1. I want to read up verses 1 through 4. And the Lord called unto Moses and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of cattle, even of the herd of the flock. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. God gave mankind a gift. God told Moses, you know what, you just tell the people, if they'll get a male out of their herd, a perfect one, the one without blemish, and bring it to the tabernacle, and then put his hand on it. He said, that'll be the atonement for his sins. I will have a still relationship with him. I won't hold harmless against him for all the sins that he's done. This will take it away. God gave a gift to the children of Israel right then, way, way, way back. He made a way through His giving that we could have for all eternity. Not just this wasn't just this time and then that's it. You don't get to do it again. He gave this gift for eternity, for all time. The same process, the same way. Nothing has ever changed. God still works the same yesterday, today, and forever. Very precious gift for men to be able to gain forgiveness through what God had given us. Now, the result of this, the purpose of all of this, go over to Leviticus. Now, if you read through, continue to read from Leviticus 1 all the way to Leviticus 9, he explains all of the different sacrifices and the purpose behind them all. And in Leviticus chapter 9, 22 through 24, he explains what the purpose of all this is. And in 22 of chapter 9 in Leviticus it says, and Aaron lifted up his hand toward